I watch a lot of cooking channel shows, and I love them. I really do. Don't judge me. All right, we all have our things. You have your things. I have my things. Now, out of them, the thing I love the most is barbecue challenges. I love watching barbecue cooking shows. I love barbecue. I love TV. Makes sense, right? Now, there is one thing that always amazes me with every cooking challenge show, even with the barbecue ones. Guaranteed, at some point, someone will say, it's right at the end, they're gonna they're going home or they're going big, right? One or the other. And the way they choose to do it is they say right into the camera without a shred of irony, I've never made this before, but I think now is the time to go big or go home, all right? Okay. 9 times out of 10, I've seen enough of these that I know 9 times out of 10, that's the person that's going home. Because in my mind, I'm like, why? Everything is on the line. It's do or die. It's $100,000, and you're gonna try something that you have never tried before. All right, I get it. I understand it. I kind of understand the concept. But then it's kind of sunk into me, and I was like, oh yeah, there. Hey there, welcome back. I'm E.H. Howard. And just to be clear, I am not against Hail Mary moves. I have done many of them in my time. They have their place, they have their function. But when it's do or die, when I am up against a hard deadline, if there is money on the line, why would you risk it all by doing something you've never done before? To me, that thinking is go home broke instead of go big or go home. You are taking an unnecessary risk. And like I said, the track record of success for these is incredibly minimal. It's like every time we watch a show and someone's like, oh, I make this all the time. I have made 1,000 of these in my day. I am the expert on this in this cooking field. That's the person's going home, all right? I feel you. I applaud the pluck. I get it, all right? But in my mind, I'm going to double down and do something really simple that I know how to do well, and I am going to execute the fuck out of it, all right? The quality level is going to be so blowing you away that you're just going to have to be like, wow, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. You're totally right. Now, what it is that we are all doing it all the time. You might have done it 3 or 4 times this week. Who knows? We are self-sabotaging ourselves. And if you are a self-employed smaller home business, you do it a lot, all right? Now, there are 1,000,001 reasons why we do it. Some of us do it a lot more than others. And there was a point where, I will be honest, there was about a year where I was really self-sabotaging myself a lot. And it came from fear. It came from a fear of success. But I'm kind of getting ahead of myself there. All right. Self-sabotage, but you're like, I don't self-sabotage, E.H. I don't do that. That would hurt me. Why would I ever do something I've never done at the end of the barbecue challenge? It can be very minor, all right? It can be incredibly minor. It can be something like turning down a job because it might be too much right now, all right? I don't want to get involved in that. There's a lot of ways why we turn down work, but one of them is that we're afraid. Okay, this is bigger than I am at the moment. I don't know if I can pull it off. But it's a really good consumer. They're asking me to do this. Let me do it. And then you end up self-sabotaging, all right? It shows itself as self-procrastination. You either miss a deadline, you procrastinate till the absolute end, and then you do a Hail Mary move. The day you're supposed to deliver the project or whatever it is, can I get another week? And then you don't use the week, you wait till the last day, and then you're like, can I get another week? Those are the kinds of things that are self-sabotaging. We've convinced ourselves that we are working really hard, that we're trying to pull off this thing that we've never done, that we shouldn't have taken on in the first place, and then we're hurting ourselves in the end. Now, before we get too far into the woods, all right, let me really get down and kind of start to clarify things so that we're all kind of on the same page, right? Now, self-sabotage clinically is referred to as when people do or don't do certain things that block their success or prevent them from accomplishing their goals, all right? In other words, we do something to hurt ourselves, damage our business out of fear. And whether you want to admit it or not, fear is there. But I'm not afraid. You are. There is fear deep down inside. Fear of success, fear of whatever it could be, all right? What it might lead to, that's a big one. Well, if I do this, then that's going to lead me to doing that, and then I'm going to move, and I don't know if I'm ready to grow that big, And the thing about our brains, especially if I feel like self-employed, small and home business people, we're kind of an odd bodkin, so to speak. And our brains work in very mysterious ways, all right? There are many times where we're like, suddenly I don't know how I got here into this place of negativity, but it started with that person saying hello, or a microaggression, and now I'm here. Our minds just kind of, before we know it, we're in this spiral and we're at the bottom of it. And we're like, how the fuck did I get here? All right? Now, I'm not saying that you are overtly going out there and fucking up things on purpose, all right? It's deeper than that. We don't even know that we're doing it, all right? Now, one of the things, especially if you're a designer, one of the things that I used to say a lot was, I'm spending a lot of time doing research, finding the perfect color base, finding the perfect, types, whatever it is. I'm doing research, and that was sort of moving me along. So I had convinced myself that I was working, but I really wasn't. I was just spinning my wheels. I wasn't moving the ball forward. I wasn't actually creating anything. I was researching, all right? And again, these things kind of pop up in a multitude of ways. Maybe it's researching. Maybe it's you decide, I really should get out there and be networking, but you never do it because you're afraid, all right? And it's okay. We're allowed to be afraid. It's not a big deal. Maybe you don't take on new work that you want to, or additional projects, and you tell yourself, I'm just too busy right now. I don't need that extra work. I've got a lot on my plate. You deliver them work that is well below what you really can do, what your skill level is, what you really want to give them. And then that becomes a bigger problem. It's a cycle, all right? And then that becomes, see, I suck. I'm horrible. Why am I doing this? I shouldn't be doing this. I'm out of my league. I don't get it. And then we either close up, or we start taking work that is further and further and further below our skill level. And every time we do that, another brick in the wall. See, I can't even get business cards business because I'm that horrible. I suck that bad that nobody wants to hire me to do this. All right, that's kind of where it goes. Now, there are 1,000,001 reasons for why we self-sabotage, all right? And everybody has a different way of expressing it. There's a different set of reasons. And again, like the microaggressions, there are 1,000,001 things out there that are written on this that are much more scholarly than I am, much more intelligent than I am. I'm just kind of trying to tell you from a small business perspective how these things affect me. Now, one of the reasons that these happen is I strongly believe that we as self-employed, small home, solopreneurs, freelancers, you name it, we really, really, really want to, and I should have, fuck it, leave it there. I strongly believe that we as self-employed, small home business owners, freelancers, contractors, consultants, we honestly want to help people. We really, really, really want to help people. We want to make their lives better in some way through some skill that we offer, some experiences that we have to share to make their problems a little bit easier, all right? Now, that doesn't always work out for us. And so sometimes when things get tough, and let's be honest, it ain't been a cakewalk the last, 10 years? It's been really hard out there for small business owners, home business owners, self-employed, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, freelance, you name it. We have had a really hard frickin' time. So in order to make things better, to make bank, to make and pay our bills, we have added in other things. And sort of it makes sense, all right? So like one of the things that I did and I noticed other graphic designers were doing is we would offer printing pricing, all right? So you come to me, I'll give you a business card. This is how much the design will cost. This is how much the printing costs. Bing, bang, boom, go. We start adding other things in, other areas that we can help us stay afloat in order to do what the passion business is, all right? Let me give you a better example of this. Let me kind of clarify it a little bit, because I know this can kind of, like, it's a kind of a new concept to people, because some people think, well, yeah, why not add these extra things in? All right, for many, 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 many years, all right, I have always made this joke in regards to this person that it was a somewhat fake, maybe 50% fake, persona of the worst kind of person that is engaging in self-sabotage, all right? And this is the financial planner who's a notary, ballroom dance instructor, web designer, and Herbalife rep, okay? I mean, it's only half true, but the fact that it's only half true is a little frightening, right? So, yeah. All right. I get financial planner, notary. Those two make sense, okay? You can speed the process along for the consumer. You can get it done faster if you can offer them that service and get them what they need quickly. That makes complete sense. When it starts to get out of the realm of your industry, that's when it happens. And this has been happening a lot, all right? Like, you will meet somebody who is, I'm just gonna keep going with financial planners. Sorry, financial planners. Sorry, and I know a few of you, I'm apologizing in advance to you. I'm not trying to beat up your industry. It could be any industry, actually. All right, so the financial planner, who's also a personal trainer and a Herbalife representative, all right? Like, in my mind, I'm like, what do you do? I'm not seeing an area that you're expertise is in, and those three things are telling me a huge message that you don't believe in you don't have a focus, and that because you don't believe in you, why should I believe in you? All right, if you can't stand behind, like, and again, I like things like certain industries and notary, you know, if you're, I think it's illegal, I don't know, but if you're like a realtor and a mortgage, like that would make sense, you know, auto parts distributor and auto mechanic, but whatever, like graphic designer and printer, all right, that makes sense. Those are something I would offer to people because it's in my industry. It is an extra level of, here's one more step, I can make your life easier because I can take care of all of this for you. And again, if it becomes really like, I don't know, like you're selling cell phone plans and now you've got a gift basket thing on the side, like it sends a lot of messages to people, all right? It sends a lot of messages. And if you aren't clear on what you do, how are they going to be clear on what you do? How are they going to be able to refer you? How are you going to really ask for getting paid the value of what you're worth if you don't really tell them, all right? Now, this brings me to a huge problem that we have in this, and the next reason that we self-sabotage. Because we lack of focus, we don't really know how to talk about our business. We can't communicate what we do and how we do it because it leaves, that lack of focus makes it difficult to talk about, all right? Like, if you go to a networking event and you hand out a business card that says, financial planner, notary, ballroom dance instructor, Herbalife representative, you're going to get a lot of questions, all right? I've been to enough networking events. I would be the guy, first of all, asking the questions. But that brings me to our next reason, okay? We are unable to communicate and talk about our business because we don't have a clear focus. It's hard for us to talk about things when we can't really understand and talk about our business to ourselves. What is our focus? What do we do, all right? If you go to a networking event and you pass out a business card that says financial planner, notary, ballroom dance instructor, Herbalife, personal trainer, Zumba instructor, you're going to get a lot of questions. People are going to ask you questions, all right? I will be the guy asking you questions, guaranteed. And then that becomes the thing. When you start to talk about your business, you start to ramble. It becomes a huge word salad that confuses people. You know, we do this, we do that. This is why you get the consumers that you do. This is why you get the Karens, the Chads, the problem children, the people with the microaggressions, the people who are not really getting what you do, the value that you bring. They don't appreciate or understand your place in the market and your experience. And it's giving you these people that are not really right for your business because you are too bland. You're too all over the place. So it's just easy for people to project onto your business whatever they have in mind, whatever they think we do. Now, if you can explain yourself better, if you can be really clear in what you do, you will get paid more, you'll get better consumers, you'll get those super fans, those casual consumers who really love you. You would do the work that you want to do, and you would get paid what you're worth for it, all right? And your days would be a lot happier. And so rather than taking on anything and everything we can, you need to shift your focus, and it should become quality over quantity. And it should never be the other way around, ever. We want to focus on quality, not quantity. Now, all of this, every day, between this and the microaggressions, it all chips away at our confidence. You know, it leaves us feeling less than. I don't know. Why do I keep getting these asshole consumers and clients? What the fuck, you know? That's what happens. Every time we perceive that we have failed, it takes another brick out of the confidence wall and puts it up in the self-sabotage wall, all right? We get upset with ourselves, or actually we set ourselves up for failure, then we get upset when we fail, and then we just keep doubling down on it. It's a really bad cycle, and it doesn't make any sense. You know, and I talk about failure is like, we'll get the project done, we'll get it to you, but it's not anything close to what I want it to be. It doesn't look like I want. I'm embarrassed by it. I'm getting it to you because I told you I would get it to you, but that doesn't mean that I like it. I was up late last night just doing it because it was, you see where this is all going. All right. I never want to do work that I'm embarrassed by. I mean, I make stupid mistakes and I may say something stupid, but I generally kind of set out to do the best quality work that I can, to give people the best quality that they're paying for, all right? If you're paying me for something, I'm making sure that you're getting what you've paid for, that you're getting that quality, that value out of it. All right, so that brings me to the next problem. I wish that there was a magic elixir or a pill that we could take and that suddenly we could be Popeye and we would stop sabotaging ourselves. We could silence that inner critic, but there isn't, all right? But there are a couple of things that we can do, all right? First of all, own your value, all right? And there is a worksheet attached with this, and it'll kind of walk you through some of these things as well, kind of help you brainstorm some of the things like your value. You have value. Because we're always by ourselves. We're self-employed, small home businesses. We don't have staff. We don't have assistants. We don't have a lot of engagement with people outside of our immediate families and loved ones and ourselves. All right. So therefore, we really get lost in what are we great at? We lose sight of how awesome we are. We don't see what the other people see because we are so wrapped up in ourselves. So you need to own your value. You bring value. You are an industry expert. Do not let anybody else tell you otherwise, all right? You are in the trenches every day doing what you do, honing your skills, learning. If that doesn't make you an industry expert, nothing does, all right? You own that. Own your value. You need to also understand why you're doing it, all right? Why do I want to be a financial planner? What is it about it that's helping me? Why do I want to help these people? What is in it for me? What am I getting out of this? The whole thing, all right? And the worksheet will really walk you through this too, because if you don't understand why you're doing it, if you don't love what you do, if this isn't the passion that's in your belly, consumers and clients are going to feel that. And again, you're pulling your punches. You're going to not really push as hard as you should, and you're going to get the clients and the consumers that you're getting, all right? Kind of tying back up to owning your value is appreciate what you've accomplished. most of us, okay, maybe I'm not a billionaire. I'm not sitting on a yacht down in Huntington Beach. I'm not traveling the world in a jet, but I'm enjoying life. And that is all I wanted. All right. I wanted to be able to go out to dinner on Friday night with friends. I wanted to enjoy life. All right. I have accomplished a lot. My business isn't Madison Avenue, and I don't want it to be Madison Avenue, but I have been doing what I've been doing for quite a few years, decades. I love it. I wouldn't change a thing. I realize every day how much I've accomplished, all right? Looking back on it, and that's the beauty of age, all right? I can look back and say, I did some great work. I've worked with some really great people, I really, hey, and it's not egotistical. It is not cocky. It is just us understanding, because we only have us, what we've done, how we've done it, and the great things that we've done to help people. Because we typically focus, we could meet 10 people. We could meet 10 people in one day. 9 of them will be great. That one person is going to be the one that ruins the rest of our day. Now, the other thing is you need to counter your negativity with positivity, all right? There are many times where we are going to be hearing things negative thoughts, negative ideas, aggressions from people. You need to recognize that, like, okay, this person is saying this, or there's this negative thought, like, oh, I'm a horrible this, because no, the fact was that this happened. That doesn't mean that you don't know what you're doing. That doesn't mean, okay, you were late, but you were late because the truck broke down delivering whatever it was that you had to do. Like, look at things from factual ways and then kind of look at them as a positive, all right? We need to get away from looking at things as negativity. And the most important is you need to take time out of your day, every day, to recharge and relax. Even if it is to do something like just walk around your yard, walk around your neighborhood, go down to the local coffee shop and grab a coffee, whatever it is, you need to take time to recharge and relax. That's it. Now, change isn't going to happen overnight. These aren't going to be things that are going to suddenly tomorrow you're going to wake up and it's all going to be gone. It's going to take some time, all right? And here's the thing. It will feel every day as you're kind of growing and learning how to count on these things, like it's taking forever. There will be days where you feel like your inner critic is winning, that things are not going as great as they should be. And then suddenly one day you'll look back and you're like, oh, damn, that went faster than I thought. Wow, who knew it was that easy? It will literally blow by in no time, all right? Now, if you want to download the worksheet for this, there's this and additional content, and that is at sabotage.ehhoward.com. And like I said, it's a little tracker. It's a way of looking at things. You can look at what you said all week. It'll kind of walk you through the steps. There'll be some brainstorming activities. The idea here is not to beat ourselves up, but we're going to assess ourselves and we're going to learn from things, the pluses and the negatives, so that we don't kind of keep getting lost in the woods, because we only have ourselves, all right? Now, all of these are just a way to help you down the road, to kind of stimulate thinking when we talk about them in future content. So you don't need to write a novel. You just kind of need to write some quick short notes to jog your memory. All right. Now, as a reminder, in the next issue of the review, I can speak, we are going to be discussing all of this and a lot more. We're going to be talking about how you can get paid what you're worth, really understanding your value and raising your prices. All right. And then not only how to raise them, but selling that to consumers, all right? Because you are going to have to kind of deal with some pushback and those types of things. We're going to go into detail on the hows and the whys. It's always, as always, supported with brainstorming and skill-building tasks and challenges. So it goes on sale August 1st, so make sure you get your copy at review.ehhoward.com. And while you're there, don't forget to join the tribe. When you sign up for the mailing list, which I call my tribe, you are going to get the for free the bi-weekly newsletter called The Dispatch. And much like the review, it's got brainstorming challenges, stories, articles. The last two we've been talking about things like consumers that are constantly asking for price adjustments and discounts, as well as the next one was talking about how we self-sabotage and freely offer discounts in hopes to get business. So we're kind of self-discounting ourselves. Those are all great things. They're not needed to use the review or buy the review, but it's just more supplemental material. You get other members exclusives. I think I want to try and start doing some Facebook Live networking kind of things. So sign up for the newsletter, you'll get that too. Follow me on social media. I'm really only like down to like Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. They've been really successful for me, so I'm kind of sticking with them. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, hit a like down below, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.